Hey there, Fly Girl Tribe. Nope, that's all wrong. Hey there, Tribe. It is your girl, Robin, the resident Fly Girl from Purposely Fly, and on to share some small victories with you today, but to encourage you. Many of us are probably on a weight loss journey or a better fitness journey or a better health journey. It's the first of the year. Typically, people tend to get in that mode because of resolutions they're made or just because, hell, everybody's doing it, right? So I am no different. I am always a girl to say I'm about to lose X amount of pounds, but it came upon me about 3 months ago when I was unfortunately diagnosed as being diabetic and having to take medication on a daily basis. My goal, my personal goal for myself was to be rid of this medication by March 2020. So I have a couple more months to go. My main reason for coming on to share this video with you, however, is that I have been successful, extremely successful in lowering my numbers, not only by taking the medication, I'm sure that's helping a little bit as well, but also by doing intermittent fasting. So if you haven't heard of it, a lot of people call it IF. I'm kind of careful to say IF because a lot of times people get that confused with IVF, and they are two totally different things. But IF, or intermittent fasting, I am no means an expert on it. Just really started researching it, I would say, a month and a half ago. It kind of has a little keto feel to it because a lot of people that are doing keto, they also do the intermittent fasting to help them with their weight loss. And I will say this, I don't know if I've lost any weight. I've only been doing it. This is my going into my third week, and can't really say if I've lost any weight. Some physical things I can tell have changed slightly, but I'll test that out at the end of the month to see if I've really lost any weight. But my numbers, which was the most important thing to me, have significantly diminished, significantly gone down. I had a goal in mind of where I wanted to be, and I'm about 10 shy from that goal, so I know I'll get there. And like I said, I haven't been a huge researcher about this. I joined a group on Facebook that talks about women that are doing intermittent fasting. Some of them do an extreme amount of fasting, and some of them are just starting out. So the group is a mixture of where people are in their journeys. So never be afraid if you're just beginning something to jump in where you think people are experts or you think they're, well ahead of you, to jump into a group like that because they have helped me tremendously just with motivation, things that I needed to know about intermittent fasting, how emotionally I was going to feel, how grumpy I was going to feel the first couple of days, making sure I had the right amount of water. A lot of things go into it. So I don't want you to just watch my video and hopefully be encouraged and then you jump into it. I want you to do some research for yourself. So just to give you a little bit about my journey so far. How it started was I joined this group on Facebook, and I will share that group here on my video so that if you're wanting to come in, you can as well. And I was seeing women with incredible results. I mean, losing 40, 50, 60, some even 100 pounds by using this technique to lose weight. There are also tons of videos on here, YouTube, meaning being here, about the method, more research about it, doctors that have included it as part of their regime for their patients. So check those out too. But I was just so encouraged. A girlfriend of mine put me in the group, and these women were just blowing my mind with just using this technique. I'm not going to say simple because it ain't simple, but by using this technique to lose weight. And of course, fasting, it means you're not eating for a significant amount of time. But when I first heard about it, I'm thinking, how in the hell are people fasting for 13 hours and living? I mean, I just didn't think it was a thing. How are you going to do that? But those 13 hours encompass a lot of time that you are asleep at night. So when I first started, I started with the 13-hour fast, which is also called the circadian fast. There is an app called Zero that you can get, and it will help you track when you're fasting. So for me, I wouldn't eat, or I'd stop eating at 8 o'clock at night because my schedule is a little later. Work schedule is later than most. So I couldn't stop at 5 o'clock. That just wasn't logical for me. So 8 o'clock at night, I would stop. I push that button on the timer on 0, and it would track the hours, mainly those that I was asleep, and then let me know when my window was open to break my fast. So that's what they essentially say that breakfast is. But most of the time, this is my theory on it. You're just not eating breakfast. That meal in the morning that everybody says is super duper important. For some, it may be, but I'm finding for myself, and many people are finding that by having that later in the day after you've had the regular rhythm of your body for that day is best for most people. It may not work for everybody. And I was skeptical at first because being diagnosed as diabetic, I'm thinking, oh, I got to eat 3 meals a day. I need some snacks in between those meals, or my sugar levels are going to be all out of whack. I'm going to be fainting. I'm going to be, sugar levels dropping down too drastically. Did not happen at all. The first week was a struggle because I'm just so used to breakfast. I would get up, fix my breakfast, get ready for work, and go. So training my mind was probably the most difficult part at first because, like I said, that was my routine. And my routine had to change where I just stayed up in my room, got ready for work, and I left. Now, the kind of good thing for me was when I got into work, I had to be out on the floor. I'm not at my desk. And that was a change that happened in January. So it was kind of coinciding when I started my fasting. So I wouldn't have that opportunity to go to the cafeteria to grab something to eat because I was busy. So that really helped me push to that 13 hours at the beginning. And it really didn't take long for me to get that into my system as I was going to eat at 10. It was just kind of the perfect timing for me. It just worked out well. I don't think it probably does for everybody, but it really worked out well for me. So testing my blood levels, they were still not elevated at a pretty decent amount, but I noticed them starting to drastically drop over the past week and a half when I was just being consistent with the fasting. Now, I'll be honest, there have been a couple of times where I wasn't able to stick with it, like on the weekend because I had to go out of town or it just didn't work out timing wise. The thing, I didn't beat myself up. I just got the next day right back on that horse and continue with my fast. So, like when you're doing keto, if you get out of ketosis, it it'll screw you all up and you got to start all back over again. I didn't find that same thing with the intermittent fasting. So today, and this is the reason why I'm doing this video today, is because I pushed my fasting to 16 and 8, meaning I'm fasting for 16 hours and I have an 8-hour window to eat. Now, some people will change their diet. As I said, people will do keto during those hours. I have not really changed my diet significantly. I may have increased some vegetables. I still eat a little bit of sugar, y'all. Don't tell my doctor. But I really haven't changed a lot of the foods that I was typically eating. I've cut back on pop, soda, depending on where you live, but not to the point where I don't have it at all. And my numbers have gotten so much better. So I don't know the science about it. You can research it yourself. This is just a girl on here sharing her piece of what her journey is with IF and how I would encourage you if you are looking to shed some pounds, or if you're like me, been diagnosed as pre-diabetic or diabetic, you can use this as a catalyst to get those numbers down. And I still don't even know everything there is to know about diabetes. I know that it runs in my family, so me having it was a bit of a shock. No, I won't say it's a shock. It was depressing because I didn't want to take medication. That's just one thing I don't like to do. If I have a headache, I will take medication. If I have a cold, I take medication. But besides that, I didn't want to take any medication. Now, about 2 years ago, lost a significant amount of weight because I was pre-diabetic. But when I lost that weight, of course, that went away. So I know the numbers have a lot to do with that. So that is my goal over the next, I'd say, 2 weeks is to stay at a 16.8. Now, I will say today, wasn't difficult to get to that 16 hours because I was busy, but there were some lulls in between my morning. But I just drank water. You can drink water, you can drink tea with no sugar, you can drink coffee with no cream or sugar during your fasting time, but that's it. Nothing else. Don't even chew gum, is what they say. So I did have some water, and I just concentrated on something else. It was easier than I thought. I'm not going to even say that I'll be able to do that, every day without a challenge, but I'm going to try. A lot of it, of course, is mental, and that is the part I'm going to start working on. So you have the circadian, which is 13 hours. You have the 16/8, which is very popular that a lot of people do. I think The Rock does 16/8, and there's another celebrity that does it as well. And then I've also heard about OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. I don't know if I'm there yet, y'all. I don't know if I'm there just to have 1 meal a day, but there are a lot of people in my group that do that with the 16/8 or with the circadian. So they'll vary the different methods that they use. And sometimes that's done because they want to kickstart their weight loss. So they'll go back to circadian and then switch to the OMAD. And there are some women that do a whole day fast. Good God Almighty. I just don't know if that's going to happen unless I was sick, my tooth came out or something. Because I don't know. So they do one, there's an acronym for it, but I don't remember. But one day, 24 hours, they don't eat anything. And then the next day they have a window where they do eat, and they alternate back to not eating. That one is not for me, but it works for some people. You do what works for you, but research it. I think if you're in that realm of pre-diabetic or diabetic, this can help you significantly. This can help you with your energy. My energy level is different. I was waking up very sluggish before this. I was waking up not wanting to wake up. I was waking up and dragging. Now I am up. I'm a little bit more clearer in my thoughts. And I'm just telling you, I'm a believer. So if you want to try it, if you want to join me on this journey, leave something in the comments so I can share with you my social media information and you can get in touch with me. And I'd love to have you join me, and we can do this together, girl or guy, whoever it may be, anybody who wants to be a part of this tribe. I'm excited. I will do more posts about my journey with IF. At the end of the month, I'll come on and share if I've lost any weight or not. Fingers crossed. But I do see a difference, and the most significant difference is in my numbers. Numbers don't lie, baby. All right? Okay, well, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about IF, if you've tried it, if it's working for you, if you want to join me. Let me know in the comments below. Also, guys, subscribe. You want to know when I'm coming on here with some good juicy stuff, so push the subscribe button. I'll ding in your little text box inbox, and you can come and check me out. And then you can hit the bell too for even more reminders. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the time. Okay, so that's your girl for today. IF intermittent fasting. Check it out. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Stay healthy, be healthy. God bless.